Live.
Live. Thank you for that.
Live.
Yeah.
Live, not live. We're anti-live on this pod here.
Ugh.
Live.
Right? Live tour, the whole live thing.
Oh.
Right? Isn't that what we're talking about here?
I don't know.
I kind of meant like LIVE.
I know that. I thought.
No, I know you
like
said
live.
live, but then oh yeah, I guess that is like
And then
live.
I thought you meant
anti-live
the
is
club
stuff.
in Miami for a second.
What?
Yeah,
Why would I mean that?
That's
I mean, if
like,
anything else, I would go
that's the
live
more
golf, then
famous
I would go
live.
live Tyler before I would go club
Right.
in Miami.
I think
That
the
thing you do.
most famous live would be.
By the way, the catchiest song ever written. For
Yes,
a movie
it is.
ever. It
Yeah.
is. It's. I actually just watched that movie again recently.
Obviously.
Super entertaining.
Yeah, it is. I like
Yeah,
it.
It's actually a really catchy, good movie.
You ready?
Ready. I can't see you doing that.
It is. Yeah. Once you get in your head.
It doesn't go. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. Bet Parks, Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you live on YouTube, but also on the podcast.
Always.
If you are not watching live on YouTube, you're missing out on us singing that thing you do prior to
did miss
recording.
out on that.
Yes,
It's
yes.
Maybe
Maybe Tucker will throw like a little Easter egg at the end of the pod. That's possible.
Yeah, one of the few.
Creating work for our guy.
Do you
Good
think
old
that'll
movie.
affect our copyright? Because you sang it so well.
Probably.
No,
It'll
no,
probably
no,
get
no,
dinged
no.
as, like, the real
That's not
song
how
being
copyright
played.
works.
Yeah.
It was one line. I think there's 30 seconds you're allowed
Right, I
to
think he's
use. Was he?
kidding. Yeah.
I don't know. He seemed very
Yeah.
serious.
You're allowed to sing a song. I feel like it's just not playing the song. I think he was saying you sang it so well.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
It sounded
yeah,
just
Like the Conklin bits
Exactly.
get dinged on the morning show.
yeah.
Right,
Very
right.
good. Do they really?
Yeah, like his NOLA song.
Yeah.
We've been contacted by the Kinks like 12
Get
times.
out of here. Did you know that?
I didn't.
It's pretty
Contacted
wild.
by the who?
the
Kinks?
The band.
The
Not the Who,
Kinks.
the Kinks.
You've never heard of the Kinks?
Of course
You really
not.
got me.
Well, I've heard
Lola.
I'm sure I've heard of their song.
Lola.
I just didn't know they. Yeah, I've heard of Lola.
Dun, 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 dun,
Na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, and then you really got me.
Yeah, it's
you
another
really
good
got
one.
me.
I didn't know they were called the Kinks.
This jives perfectly. One of my long thought beliefs is the Kinks the most underrated band of all time. There you go.
I would say so since I didn't
Yeah.
name it. Those
Banger
are two pretty
after
good
banger.
songs.
They're
Yeah.
great. Kinks are great. All right, so how you doing?
Uh,
Well, pal.
dude, it's
Haven't seen you since
I know.
Baltimore.
You
Last
wanna
time we were
talk about
together,
Baltimore?
we were watching the Eagles. Their best win in the season.
yeah.
No
I guess
big
we haven't
deal.
talked since then. That's a good point.
I didn't
Well,
even
we've
think about
talked,
it.
just
Yeah, but
on
not
the
really.
pod, Yeah,
I couldn't hear you. I was like holding the phone.
yeah,
up to my
yeah.
ear.
But it was nice you called in.
I know. It was fun.
Fun time in Baltimore,
Yep.
obviously.
Thank you to Jack. I know it's a real hardship to force him to talk Eagles. So I
Yes,
really
yes.
appreciate him filling
Especially
in.
after a win.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. It was
Yeah.
a tough spot for him, but he filled in admirably. I appreciate that.
I talked about it on the end of one of the daily pods. Obviously, not as good as remembering everybody's name, but I tried. So I described them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, they all appreciate it.
We had a great time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Good turnout. Also, like great game.
Great game, great trip. Shout out
Yeah.
to fans of Philly.
Crushed it.
Awesome time. We had the best time at the bar. Worthington.
Tailgate was awesome.
Saturday night.
Dude, I
was
told
a
like
blast.
3 people that night. They're like, "Oh, where are you staying?" And I was like, "The Worthington." It is
I
like
felt
doesn't
I
it
lived
sound
it
like
the way-
a hotel
it
name?
Totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time. Hung out with so
Yeah.
many different people.
Thank you. Everybody came out.
Yeah.
Already looking forward to next year.
Yeah. It's
Well,
gonna
and
be great.
also they won. There was some talk of you being a jinx.
Thank God.
So-
Can I that was one of the things so from the
I
bus
think you
ride
didn't want it
home,
to be a
I
thing.
texted you and I was like, I'm so happy they won
Yeah.
because I couldn't do the they lose when James goes. I was
Would've
like,
been
that was a vibe that I just didn't
Yes.
want to deal with.
But instead they got their best win.
I know. Now it's like send James on the trip.
So I think it was the camera that said this. Like it's one of their best wins.
So yeah, here's what Joe said.
and I hadn't thought about it, but it's interesting to think about.
So here was Joe's take and he hates that it's a take, but it is.
Right.
That
Well, it
it-
takes just an opinion.
That's what
It's
I
so
always say to
silly.
him. I'm like,
Yeah.
big dog, just an opinion. He's like,
Yeah.
take thing. Here was his take was that since 2020, Eagles' best win.
Since 2020?
Yep.
Okay.
So of
Well,
the
that shrinks
2020s,
it quite a bit.
yeah, of the 2020s is what he's
Yeah.
saying. This decade, he said the best win is the championship game over the Niners. He said the second best win was in Kansas City last year, and he thinks the third best win over the Giants playoff game was the win in Baltimore.
So I actually think this was the best win of those three.
Wow.
I mean, the championship win, I
I
understand.
think you have to put the.
I get it,
it's
but,
over
like,
a
it
good
was
team
a-
in the. I know it wasn't a good game,
Right.
and
The
Purdy
game
got
was
knocked
over
out
like
and all
10
that,
minutes into
But I
it.
think I mean, they won the NFC.
No, I get it.
I get it. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It
But then
was
by that argument, why not the Giants?
fair.
You know what I mean? Like, so I understand why you would put it one. And I think the thing I'll say about the Chiefs game is we look at it with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah.
You know, like they collapsed.
It's a less
Like,
exciting
at
win.
the time, it was a fantastic win. And I think you could argue that if they don't collapse last year, that win is probably better than this one.
That's why Joe
Like
said
the defense was great in that game too. Obviously the offense was better in this game than it was against the Chiefs. But yeah, I mean, just in terms of like, it's a similar feeling of like going into a tough opposing stadium. It's cold. I mean, you could speak to that. Like, AFC opponent, great quarterback. Like, they are very similar. Yeah.
Cold, brother. Let me tell you, it started snowing during the game out of nowhere.
Which is kind of cool.
It was like, so my luck, of course, I'm sitting next to Justin from Richmond and Mike in New York, which was lucky because they're amazing, awesome people.
I was gonna say, it could have
been
worse.
Neither of them is cold. Like, they kept being like, how are you cold, man? You saw Justin Richmond the whole weekend was like, I don't wear coats. I don't wear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got long johns on. I got layers. I got my coat. I'm like, as Justin Richmond gave me his warmers. He had like hand warmers up. He gave them to me because he didn't need them. They made me feel like I was like the lamest person ever. They're like, how are you cold, loser?
So
I'm like, I'm freezing.
It was funny. I actually, of all people, said this to Nolan Smith yesterday. Wow.
What
I know. Like,
I give me 1,000 guesses for. Hey, I said something to someone yesterday. Who do you think it was?
Yeah,
I would have gone through all of WIP.
Well, he was about to talk, and so we're like kind of waiting for everyone to get around. So we're like small talking a little. I was like, "Hey, you ready for the cold winter? Classic weather small talk,
big time."
Yeah,
and, I mean, who does weather small talk better than you?
Nobody.
So I mean, people don't realize. I mean, you and weather. So the side topic today on the morning show was a person and their thing, like Michael Jackson. Something you think about when you Michael Jackson's Glover, you and weather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I said to Nolan Smith, "You ready for the cold winter?" Obviously being from the South, like, going to Georgia and all that. And he was like, "Cold's a mindset." And I was like, well, I guess I'm weak then, because I think it's very cold. And like, so I do understand in his situation.
Yeah, he's got to think.
But like, there was someone at the tailgate, and props him for coming. Great guy. Was
shorts guy
had the shorts on. It's like, what are we proving here?
So, and I said to you, I think it's funny too, when maybe when I've been gone, I might have said it to the other guys, but where it's like, you're the only person here in shorts.
Yeah, like what are you proving?
Like 500.
There's no way you're more
1,000 people, whatever it was.
Yeah.
One person in shorts. It's like, man, like you gotta like realize.
Well, and you know that you're not actually warm. Yeah. Like, let's just be honest. You could be warmer.
And it's one thing, like, so I've noticed, and it makes sense. You're younger, the blood flow and stuff. But like Zoe never cold. Like, she's a kid.
Right.
Like, kids aren't. Like, this guy was like in his 60s or something. It wasn't like he was like a young guy.
Now,
he was like never cold. I was like, he was a warrior.
Obviously, very tough guy moving.
A warrior. Yeah.
But
true football guy move. You know?
I was thinking yesterday.
Unnecessary, is it?
Yeah.
I had many more layers.
You did. Well, it did get, and then we can move on from the weather, but like, it did get really, really cold out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it flat out.
And in the game, like sitting there in the stadium, you felt it. Like, it really.
Well, it makes it a more impressive win.
It did. And I think I know they did this in KC too, but going down 9-0 and then just dominating the football game from there. I mean, they were awesome. I mean, that defense to do what they did to Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
We've talked a while about how much we trust this defense. I honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think they're the best defense in football right now. And the numbers back it up.
Yeah.
It's them or maybe like the Broncos or whatever. Like, they're one of
the Broncos got lit up by
Jameis. They did. They're one of the 2 or 3 best defenses in football. And you felt it. Like, that was, we've talked a lot about how it's kind of the reverse of what we expected. We came in saying they're going to win because they have so much talent on offense. There's so much money on that side of the ball, and they're so talented. Like, that was an example of what we've been seeing. They win first because of defense. Like, Saquon's a big part of it and all that, but this team is I know you hate it, defense first team.
So here, I'm not even like disputing that fully, but I do think sometimes when we do that, like, we undersell the offense a little bit.
I don't mean it to crap on the offense. I just mean I can't believe the defense is better.
Because here's what I was thinking of. So we talked a lot about how the offense starts slow, right? Like, why can't they score in the first quarter? The defense starts slow a little bit too. Like, the defense gave up 9 points in the first quarter. They obviously only give up 3 real points the rest of the game.
Yeah, they shut it down as the game
goes
on.
They started slow against the Rams. Like, I just think they're a slow starting team. And I think because the offense starts slow, the defense is unbelievable. Best defense.
And I think the offense's slow starts puts the defense in bad positions early in games.
Yeah, I mean, you could also flip that and say being down 9-0 after the first.
Put the offense in it. Yeah, sure.
But so they're just a slow starting team. I still think the offense is, I don't know if they're better than the defense or
they're not.
Like, we could,
you
could debate.
Like, they're more talented, but they're not better. They're not playing better football.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd fall.
The metrics
like, the defense. I know. The defense is number 1 in points still, are they? Or is that since we?
I have no idea.
So I think they're high up there. But like, they're obviously both awesome. But yeah, I've been thinking about that the last 24 hours. Like, the defense does kind of start slow too. You think about Tampa.
No, it's interesting. All right, well, let me and we're gonna get to Saquon and the record and all that. But how concerned are you about this? We've talked a lot about why they start slow. And I do think the most interesting theory is that they're, kind of, Nick said on our show that they see different looks than they're expecting.
So I think
that's a big part of it.
I think
And
that is the answer.
I think that's the biggest part, but I also think they're because of that, they put out looks to see what the defense is giving them more than trying to guess what the defense is going to give them and what they should do to beat that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's an interesting theory. I don't know. Like, I just don't know if they do that or
Regardless,
not.
I don't care. That's not my point.
Right.
They start slow. Like, that's it. Okay. My question is, how concerned are you? Because at a certain point, maybe there's a game they can't climb out of the hole. Maybe they're facing the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions take a 14-0 lead.
Right.
And they can't climb out of that hole. How concerned are you as we approach the playoffs, Super Bowl aspirations, that in an important game, a slow start might come back together?
I'm really not concerned, to be honest. Like, look, I think
I'm a little. I'm not saying I'm like I still think they're can win the Super Bowl. But if I had to point to something, I'm saying like what could be something that is clearly a part of this team that could be their downfall. It could be a 14-0 deficit to a team like Linc.
Yeah, I think it reminds me a little bit. I think it was 2022 where they got out to big leads, and then it was like, remember,
the opposite.
They didn't score after half, right?
That? Yeah.
So I just think, look, would you like them to jump out to a 21-0 lead every week? And like, yes, obviously you'd like them to be ahead 10-0 instead of behind 10-0. Clearly, like you would prefer that. And I agree if they go to Detroit, and look, by the time people are listening to this, who knows what happens tonight? Like things could be very different.
Massive.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later at the and obviously Parks picked Bod.
Right. But like, I think that they're so good for the other 3 quarters that I can't get too worked up about. Now, if their offense was struggling for like an entire half and like into the third, then I'd be like, okay, this is an offensive problem. Like the offense isn't very good. But I think the offense is very good. Obviously, they run the ball. I still believe in them as a passing team. And I have some thoughts on like the Jalen Hurts passing attempt kind of watch people do. But I just, when I look at the Eagles and their slow starts, I don't look at it and go, this is going to cost them at one point. Because I think they're so good that, like, it's not like they're falling. Like, the Tampa game was, I think they got blitzed. Like, that was game over. Tampa, for sure. But, like, other than that, the defense has held them up. Like, they score a ton of points.
I know it hasn't come back to bite them yet. They're 10-2.
I don't think it's going to come. But if it does.
I'm just saying they have not had to come. This is the first time they've had to come back against a really good football team.
Yeah.
Right? I just worry that in a situation against a really good football team, spotting them a 10-0 lead or a 14-0 lead could be a hard hole to climb out of against a really good
team. I agree.
And I do think to the counter that, I do think this experience of them constantly having to do this will help them in those situations should they come up, because they know they can come back in any football game. They're never going to panic when they're down 10-0 or whatever. I think that's huge.
Right.
I just worry that it might be a game where it kind of slips away.
So I have two thoughts on that. And actually, I'm going to look this up live on the air. All right. So
I love a good live lookup. Here
are the teams that score the most points in the first quarter. And let's just see if we think like they're good teams. So I could be proven they're all great teams, but I think it's an interesting exercise, because the premise of this is falling behind is hard to climb out of, right? Essentially.
And again, not for this team. They haven't been. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, if I'm looking at this Eagles team and trying to find what could be an Achilles heel for them, because they don't have many. I think they're a great team. I think that is one of the things I would look at.
So number 1, Minnesota, 7.1.
Very good team.
Very good team. Number 2, Tampa Bay.
A good, solid.
Decent,
They're probably they're
above
average,
good, whatever. Washington.
Sure.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Houston.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. Cincinnati.
Good teams have been scoring early.
Cincinnati, Arizona, Buffalo, Tennessee, Chargers. So yeah.
So until you got to Tennessee, Cincinnati, the only one of those teams that is absolutely not making the playoffs.
Yep. All right. Now bottom 5 or 10. Now I'm going to go reverse order. The Eagles, 32nd. Obviously.
I know, it's wild,
next up, Chicago, which is interesting because like they're definitely not good, but also they've lost a lot of weird games.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. The Rams.
That is interesting. Well, I knew that now you say I knew that going, because Bria brought that up on the show when we were facing the Rams, saying, "Oh, another team that starts."
Okay, but like you would think with McVay and everything. And then Giants, Jacksonville, Denver, Dallas, Seattle, Kansas City's 24th.
So, but for the most part,
the top is more compelling to me than the bottom.
So the point is for the most part, good team scorer.
Yes. But there are some good teams that don't, but you're right. For the most
part, on average.
Yes. Now, here would be my other thought on it is I feel like something we do with the Eagles, and I understand why we do it, because like you look at them and you go, they could absolutely win the Super Bowl. How could they not win the Super Bowl? Like, what could happen? To your point, right? Like, you're almost, not that you're being negative and looking for an Achilles heel, but you're just saying, like, all right, what are some areas they could improve in? I think we do this a lot with them when we go, like, well, what if they're in this like situation? Or like, what if this happens? Or what if this happens? But I think we've seen them win every type of game over the last 3 years. So, like, another one a lot of people do is, what if Jalen has to throw him to a win, right? Like, what if Jalen Hurts has to throw him to a win?
I was just texting about the time. I saw you getting You're getting so confused.
Well, yeah, you were both.
I didn't know what time we started. I like to have a general idea.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
So I was texting Tucker to see how far in we were.
There we go. All right.
Sorry.
I was like breaking news.
That's why I know.
Yeah.
That's why I had to jump in for those listening to the pod. I saw Elliot like had on a swivel. Like,
well, because you were looking.
Tucker and I were looking at each other, and
Yeah.
he was trying to motion to me how
Eric
long
Dickerson's calling in.
Yeah, there we go. Well, honestly, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was,
So I figured I'd jump in and let you know it was nothing important you
right.
worry about.
Well, last time that happened, it was Jahan Dotson. So, yeah. Which, you know.
What a moment.
Yeah. I think the trades worked out like a little
What?
better as the year goes on. I think it's been like,
what?
It's not worth a 3rd round pick, but I think
it's a disaster.
I think disaster.
Dude, you wouldn't trade a 7th for what he's giving you. He's got like 6 catches.
Yeah, I just think like
how many check a look up how many catches John Dotson has his name.
I don't know, probably 14, 15.
Might not be that many. I think it might be like 8.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But anyway,
my guess is not double digits. That's
no, I think he's double digits.
He has 11.
There we go.
Just barely.
There we go.
11 for 117.
So he has 11 catches in 12 games.
Yeah, look,
okay?
I wouldn't have traded a.
So you can't say it's a good trade.
Yeah,
there's 2 games with multiple
it's an okay
catches.
trade. It's a horrible.
I don't think it's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Well, like we'll see what he does next year.
Look,
like
if he makes a big catch in the playoffs, or whatever, yes, you could say, "Oh, he's worth it." But like a 3rd round pick for a guy who has 11 catches in 12 games is a disaster.
Now they do have him next year too, which is part of it.
So far, disaster.
Yes.
Okay.
It has not gone well.
Okay.
All right. So here, what I was saying was,
11 catches.
Yeah, it's not good. I think we do this with the Eagles where it's like, can Jalen throw him to win? Or like, what if they fall behind 10-0? Or like, what if they don't get a pass rush? And I understand why we do it, but like, we've seen them win all these games. Like, we've seen Jalen throw him to win.
The way,
we've seen him fall behind.
11 and 12 games, I can't get past this, especially when they've missed AJ for like 3 games.
Yeah.
Devontae's missed like 3 games. That's like really
Well,
bad.
what's crazy is, well, to be fair, I'd be curious how many targets he has. Like, they don't throw it to him.
Whatever. Force him to throw it to you by being open all the time.
Well,
like, something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a bunch of things.
It's a bad trade.
Yeah. I don't think it's specific to Jahan is the point I'm making. Like, they have not done a good job using him. But I just like, they might not win the Super Bowl. They might not go. They might go to Detroit and fall
But
back.
that's the point is like if they don't win the Super Bowl, there'll be a reason they don't win the Super Bowl. The game will play out. And I'm just looking at like, again, I think they have a really good chance to win the Super Bowl.
My top reason.
But my point is, I do think that when you look at it, I think Jalen, obviously, will Jalen be good when it matters? Will he turn the ball over? All that. I feel pretty good about it, but I think that's probably the number. If you look at the offense and say, what's the biggest question mark? It's Jalen. Because we don't have a question mark about Saquon. We don't have a question mark about AJ or Devontae. We don't have a question mark about Saquon. We don't have a question about the offensive line, like maybe pass pro a little tiny bit. But Jalen's a question on offense, right? Or 3rd receiver, 2nd receiver, whatever, if Devontae's not out there. We don't have any questions about the defense, really. So that's why outside of Jalen, like the slow starts and getting in a hole is kind of the only, that's my point.
Right.
It's like the only thing I can think of.
That doesn't worry
injuries,
me.
Of course.
I think even if they fall behind 10-0 in the first to Detroit, like I'm not going to sit there and go like, well, we knew it.
I'm not either. That's not my point. My point is not that it's going to happen. My point is if we're looking at this team right now and saying what could happen, I feel like that's something that could.
So 2 things. One, the training camp stats are looking better and better with the turnovers. I know no one cares but me, but everyone wanted to dunk on him after Green Bay in the beginning. Like he could
5 interceptions.
He could end up having a career low in interceptions. It's not likely, but
is it 7's is low?
I think it's 6. So
is
it's
it 6?
Tough.
So it's
but
very
like 1 in 5 games is not like
possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
He also is going to be near his career low in interception percentage. But all that being said, I still think if they lose, it'll be because of turnovers. Like when they turn the ball over, they lose. Yeah. When they don't turn the ball over, they win. Like it's kind of that simple. So while I agree that the slow starts is a thing, like it doesn't. When I think of why they won't win the Super Bowl, that's not what I think.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like it's really only thinking about the best of the best, like against Detroit or against Buffalo or against Kansas City or whatever. Like, and I don't think it'd be against Kansas City because they're like a as we mentioned.
Yeah, they
against
don't
those
score a
starting
lot
teams.
easier.
Yeah. But I'm just looking for things like.
Oh, I didn't look where
concerned.
Detroit was. That was actually maybe the most important.
Probably
one.
in the middle if you did the top like 12.
17th.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably somewhere.
So
in the
that's
middle.
not like
Unbelievable.
Yeah. In theory, if this played out, the Eagles would be behind 1-3 at the end of the first.
Mhm.
So I don't think that'll happen. 2-3, maybe a safety if you want to round up, but we're 3-0. 3-0.
Don't say 2-3.
Well, I did the Eagles first.
I know, but don't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
No one talks like that.
Well, you know what's funny, and I'm not doing
Except
it
John
because
Ritchie.
of this.
John Ritchie's the only person who talks like that.
And I didn't do it because of this, but they do that in soccer. They
I
do
know,
like
that's
the home team is always first.
Yeah.
Like so if
you
you'd be like
you would-
0-4.
I know you're a
like,
soccer man, but you would agree.
Yeah, it's silly. I
Okay,
agree.
thank
Yeah,
you.
I
Okay,
agree. I mean,
we're
there
on
is
the
like
same
a
page. I get it,
like a
but it's like
classiness
the
to it,
higher
but-
score should go first.
Yes.
It's just the way we do it
yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
how the way we do it.
in America.
Yeah.
And you know what I am? I'm a freaking American.
You are American.
Damn straight, buddy.
Say whatever you want about you.
That's right. You can't say I'm
Yeah.
not American.
You can't. No one ever
Right.
tries either.
That's true. So,
All right.
get Saquon in a minute.
No, I feel like there was something else.
Good, please. We can sit here and
maybe
wait.
there's not.
We can sit here and
actually.
wait. We can wait.
Yeah, I mean, there's
I'll
not.
fill.
Oh well, I want to talk about Panthers and Saquon. So
Okay. All right. So let's do that in a second. But first, Mike Quick, Seth Joyner, Jody Mack, Rob Ellis, Joe Conklin, Mark Zumoff, and us, Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer. We are the Go Birds lineup, the Bet Parks lineup, part of Go Birds. Go Birds is part of the Bet Parks lineup. It's the only sportsbook and online casino app that we use that we recommend. It's the best. We've been having so much fun. By the way, I mean, you're going to listen to Bet Parks.
red hot. Just
It's unbelievable. We hit
hit
another
2
one.
last week.
We had 2. We hit our Thanksgiving one, which
Yeah.
counted. Part of
Yeah,
the official
obviously.
record. Obviously, we said
Yeah.
it would in the moment. No one can go back and find any
Correct.
audio that says otherwise.
Yes.
Tucker agrees. And we hit our other parlay. Like we are honestly, like
The only one we've missed recently is when we kind of was like a Hail Mary.
let's try
it,
a 5-team parlay.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I think we've hit 8 or 9 parlays
It's
this year.
insane.
It is insane. So here's what
Some
you
would say we know ball.
Oh, and by the way, new records coming out since we're doing the remake as well.
Well, we
like I
should do
said-
this on the Parks Pod.
Okay, we'll save it for the Parks Pod, but tune in to the Parks Ride to hear our absurd.
I saw the
records.
percentage.
It's ridiculous.
It's
Like, we
wild.
would-
Are you ahead of me?
I am.
Okay.
I'm 3 games up on you.
All
I
right.
caught another. I went 11-5 this week. No big
So
deal.
I think
You
I went
10 and 6.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. I'm over 60%. We just did it.
We're
now,
both over
but
60. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
we'll get to it. It's unbelievable. Get on now. Win some freaking money with us. Bet our
crazy.
parlays. You could actually win money this year. With
Also,
us.
I know we're telling people to like tail us, which means we'll probably lose, but
Yeah.
like you really should be.
We've been telling people to tail us for weeks, and we keep
We
winning.
keep winning.
I'm
That's a
just
good point.
saying. So I'm sure this
I
will
think
be the
we're
week
seeing
we
the
lose.
board clearly.
Yeah, we feel this is our year, buddy.
Yeah, I
this is
agree.
our magical year. So get on board with us and just have some fun. Plus, you can bet more the score. You can bet player performances, touchdowns, rushing yards, passing yards, interceptions, all that stuff. Plus, listen to this. In addition to it, watching all the games, hanging out. You got a casino right in your hand. Literally, blackjack, live dealers, roulette,
Baccarat.
bang. I love when you're.
I got to play Baccarat one time.
Yeah, we should play together.
Dude, you could tell me anything about that game. You could tell me it involves like dice, cards, like little chess pieces, like anything.
Chess pieces would be wild.
Bubbles. Like I don't.
Chess pieces would be a wild addition to any of
I
it.
could see chess pieces being a natural addition to a card game.
I mean, they're called.
I mean, it's like more.
they're called chess pieces.
But if I told you were going to add something to a card game, I think like a Monopoly / chess piece would be like the
little
next.
bishop, get in
Yeah.
there, get a rook,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
get a rook in.
I could see it. It
I
could
could
be like
see
one of
it.
those wild games, or like
Look,
there's
here's
no
what you
rules.
can do. Go on the app, learn Baccarat. You can win money doing it. You can play all these games, plus all kinds of cool slot games and all that. Plus, listen to this for new users. If you download the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app right now, you can get up to $1,000. Again, up to $1,000 if you're down in your first 24 hours of casino bonus back. Casino bonus must be wagered. See betparks.com for the details. Must be 21 PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. Gambling problem. Go on, Andrew Gambler. Elliot.
Yes. You have
Cold?
something you'd like to tell me.
So we were talking before.
Just get it off your chest.
Freaking cold, man.
Dude.
It is so cold.
I
So-
I have a job I love, but today was definitely a day where I'm like, I want to sit in the basement under a blanket the entire day.
That dude, right? I didn't want to leave my house.
Yes.
But here's the thing: if you're in your house, you got to make sure you're taken care of. I know, Elliot. You know, I had Window Nation come out and check
You
out
did.
windows at my house. They made the process so easy. I highly recommend the cold outside because it's freaking cold outside. You want to be cold inside too, Elliot.
Let me tell you. Smart move.
Thank you.
Smart
guy.
Yeah. Replacing old drafty windows will help cut down those energy bills and keep your house warmer. Yesterday, I was in the kitchen and I was looking at my windows in the back. Like, what would you call them? Like sliding doors? Those would still be windows.
Sure.
It's an interesting question. Are those at a door or a window?
I don't know. Good
We'll
question.
have to ask Window Nation.
Yeah.
I think it would
Get on it.
qualify as a door. I'm being
Might be a
completely
door,
honest.
actually. So I don't know if you've done this. Do you ever take your hand and put it up right to the window to see if there's cold air getting through?
No, but that's a good idea.
I know.
Now, but if it's would only happen if it's windy? Because it's been really windy recently.
Well, I don't know.
something to
So
consider.
here's why I don't know.
Like, is air always
Because my
moving?
windows are shut. And I don't
That's
have
a good
cold air
point.
coming
That's a
in.
good
It's a
point.
beautiful thing. And listen to this. With Window Nation's year-end sale, the price is right. You can get 50% off plus another 10% off after that. You can't beat it. It's unbelievable.
And also, and we never do. Don't forget the
We never do.
financing.
We
We literally
make a big
never do.
deal out of it
It's our
because
most
it's
favorite
unbelievable.
thing, to be
Because
honest.
I can't believe it. I'm an adult. I know what
Yeah.
financing is. Like, I can't get over this deal.
Knowing financing is an adult thing.
I know. It really is. You don't think about finance. When you're like
Yeah.
16,
Yeah.
financing, not a thing.
Not something you just spend recklessly. You can get 0% interest. Wow, for 6 years. So they
What?
upped it another full year. No
They
big
added
deal.
a year.
Just tack one on at that
Sure.
point.
Why the hell?
You know what that does? It makes it super affordable.
Unbelievably affordable. It's amazing. Plus, it's easy to schedule an estimate. So easy. Just give a quick call, and they'll be out in no time.
If you're thinking of this,
Real quick, I love a good Elliot.
Yeah, it is.
Love it. I probably said that on the pod before, but
you know who doesn't?
Joe.
Joe.
Oh, Joe doesn't. Yeah,
Joe's
it's one of
not
my
a
favorite
fan.
things, though.
Honestly, I won't do it, but the next time I'm in for
I want
BK
you to do
Hammer,
it. Just
I
do it.
might just do it.
Mm.
Just to like knock
to,
him
like,
down,
poke him a little bit.
knock him off his
Who
pedestal
the
a
hell do
little.
you think you are?
It's
All
a
right,
radio
the
show,
hammer.
bro. Yeah,
it's
all
a
right.
radio bit.
Like-
That's what I always say. I'm like, you take it so
You're answering
seriously.
trivia,
It's
and it is
radio.
impressive. But
It's impressive, but yeah, it's like,
like, get over
you don't yell at someone because they made a noise. Like, I
Right.
feel like you're a psychopath.
which hypocritical of him to get mad at Serianni. Then we want to talk
really?
about
Look at
it.
this. I like this. Is a good spin.
Thank you. But anyway, if you're thinking about new windows, now's the time. Window Nation's got top quality windows. Give your home the gift of windows in this holiday season.
Nothing better than a gift in the holiday season.
Yeah.
Final thought coming up later, a little Zoe birthday action. So
Mm.
get winter ready with Window Nation. Sale ends December 31st. You got a whole month right now. We're at the beginning of the month.
Good
Take
point.
advantage of this. Call 866-90Nation. That's 866-90Nation, or visit windownation.com. And
Tell them that we sent you.
Yeah.
Tell them Tucker sent you. Just for fun.
ooh, I like
Just for
that.
fun.
You mix it.
That'd be a
That'd
real.
deep cut.
Yeah.
They'd be like, who?
No, I think they would
No,
know.
I think they know. Tucker, you're
Well, to be
famous now.
fair, I think if they went up to most Window Nation people, they wouldn't know James or Elliot.
No, probably. I was the vast majority not. Yeah.
I think the best shot, if I'm just being honest, would be me because my name's more unique.
Probably
Like
true.
James is, a great name, a little more common. Your name, I would say, good name.
Tucker.
Yeah,
Kind of rhymes with something, though.
it does. I'd imagine that's something you've dealt with your whole life.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, not
maybe a
surprised.
first letter switched out for something else before.
Yeah.
Sucker, obviously, is what I'm saying. People call him a sucker.
Two things. One, when my parents named me Elliot, I'm sure I've told the story in the pod.
I don't know
But
if you have.
when my parents named me Elliot, one of the reasons they did it is they're like, well, like, what can you make fun of that name for? Like, again, great name Tucker, but there's an
I get it.
obvious-
So have you? Is it one of my favorite Saturday Night Live bits of all time? I've never gone back to watch the show, but it's Nick Cage is
Right.
I can't remember if it's Victoria Jackson. Someone is his wife or whatever, and she's pregnant, and they're going through the names. Like, it's like, oh, John. What about John? And he's like, John, what, like, the bathroom, and he has that thing.
Right,
for
right,
everything. And then
right.
the pizza delivery guy comes over. I can say this. Pizza delivery guy comes over and he's like, I got a pizza for Sweet Bay.
That'd be a rough name.
It's a great bit. It's a great bit.
So anyway, I'm born. My name's Elliot.
Yes, you were
And
born.
They go.
Hence why you're
They're
here.
like, I don't know, playing with me one day or whatever, and they're like, and they go like, smelly it.
and they were like, no,
Yeah, we missed that one.
They
Yeah.
totally
I
missed-
will say that's not
because that is
something-
a very
yeah, it's not
classic-
something that's followed me. Like it's. I think
I've
the
never heard it
objective.
called smelly. Yes.
Exactly.
but
Thank
it is a go-to.
I do
like, yeah.
smell naturally good.
So it's really weird that you brought this up. I was thinking about this today too.
Right.
Same.
Yeah.
I walked by someone who cologne smelled really nice or whatever, but I was like, I never wear cologne because I've just never.
Yeah, I don't
worried
really. I
about
wear
smelling.
cologne if I want to feel fancy, but I
Yeah.
don't wear it because
I don't.
I don't
I
smell
don't
well.
own cologne.
I own some because my sister-in-law got me. some.
Do you like to call
which
it
was very nice.
cologne? I do.
I would be down.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
although it sounds like bologna.
A little bit. Well, bologna should be called bologna. So there we go.
Bologna might be underrated.
Sure. I like bologna.
Yeah,
I got no issues with bologna.
Fried up.
Bologna sandwich.
bologna. I'm down.
Okay.
I don't. I think I had another point, but I forgot.
Eagles. you
Uh,
want to talk Carolina, and then we'll get to Saquon.
okay, let's do Saquon first.
Okay. So the record, real quick. The MVP stuff we talked.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen's going to win the MVP. I think Saquon has a
I
real
think he
chance.
probably will.
We know where we stand.
I
think
do have
Josh
one
Allen-
MVP take. I think there's 3 people that should be in the discussion. Josh Allen, Saquon.
Hold on. Let me try and guess the last one.
Big gap.
It's not Lamar. It's not Derrick Henry, I don't
Nope.
think. Not Mahomes.
No.
Goff?
Nope.
Vic Fangio.
Nope. That's a good one.
I would vote for Vic.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
It's Jalen.
Oh! Whoa!
I mean, let's just be honest. Like, his team is probably gonna finish as the number 1 seed.
You got 2 Eagles in the top 3. I love it.
Well, if they're the number 1 seed and Saquon sets the rushing record, like, I don't think it's that crazy. Look, Josh Allen has played better this year, I think, than Jalen Hurts. He has, but he's in there because his team is really good and because he's a quarterback. Like, I don't. Jalen checks those
Josh
boxes.
Allen would be in there because Josh Allen has so much less on offense than Jalen.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even comparable.
Yep.
His receivers are worse. His
Agreed.
running back is worse. His offensive line is worse.
Agreed.
You know?
But I still think Jalen should be in that discussion. I don't think he should win it
too. But
it's one of those he should be nominated.
I
but
probably
not,
have him 5th or 6th. But I've got him.
Who
up
would you
there
put
for
ahead
me.
of him? Would you put Goff ahead?
I would probably put Goff ahead.
What
of
if
him.
now? What if the Eagles finish ahead?
Then I might put Jalen ahead.
Okay.
I would probably put. I don't know that I'd put Lamar ahead of him. I know
I
everyone
wouldn't.
else
Yeah, what's
would.
Lamar doing that's so
I mean,
special? Their
probably,
record's
I
not
think
great,
Derrick Henry
like-
should be above Lamar.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he should be in the discussion.
No. Yeah, I agree with you though. It does.
Mahomes would
Look,
be the one.
It really does feel like it. I mean, it feels like Josh Allen and Saquon.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
it.
the gap.
But
agree.
I think Jalen belongs in the discussion.
All right, let's get to the record thing because
All right.
it's coming
I'm
into
torn on
focus. I am too. I'm actually not that torn on it.
Okay.
I feel pretty.
You want to go first?
Sure. I don't care about the record as much as I care about winning a Super Bowl. Like, if you can get it, great. Like, if he is 30 yards or less going into the last game and they don't need it. Look, if you need the games, he plays, you go for it. Like, I'm not holding him back. I'm not using him less. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But I can't say that if they don't need game 18 or week 18, game 17, if they don't need it, if it's all set by that week, I can't play Saquon in that game. Now, if it's 20 yards or whatever, then I get it. Maybe put him out to get the record, put him out. But it's because it's the thing that people aren't talking about. We're just oh, do you play Saquon or not?
Or you play everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't put Saquon out there behind a backup offensive line to try and get the record. So I can't, the Super Bowl has to be my priority. And I think it's cool. And I think it's forever. And I get it. And I get the arguments people are going to make. But if that game doesn't matter and he needs 110 yards or something, I'm absolutely not playing.
So I want to go for it. That's what my
I know you
emotion-
do. Deep
Right,
down,
yeah,
you really want it.
and also for what it's worth, I think they really want it.
I do too.
I think the offensive line really wants it. I think
I'm sure
Saquon-
everyone there wants it.
Right. So I
I'm
think
sure Nick wants him to have it, the whole thing.
I think they would lean towards playing. That would be my guess.
Okay.
I know there could be 1,000 scenarios.
Right.
He could
All right,
be
so let's
37 yards short. He could be
Let's say
112.
he is 100 yards short going into the last game. They are the 1 or 2
Right,
seed
doesn't
locked
matter.
in.
The
There's
game
nothing
does
can
not matter.
change. There's literally nothing that game can matter. 100 yards, 98 yards, 105 yards, somewhere in that general range. So I think that's where it gets
Right. That's where it gets tricky. Now it's funny because 80, I don't know.
75, 80, whatever.
Right.
Mine, it has to be 40 or less for me to
Okay.
play him in that last game.
Man, it's so hard because I think we can all realize, on one hand, the mature thing to do is not play him.
Yeah,
we were just talking
of
about
course.
financing and money. There's lots of things I want to buy, and mostly I irresponsibly do. But I know I shouldn't, right? So I view it as that game is the right thing, right? But the flip side, the other devil on my shoulder, is
Ooh, they're both devils.
yeah, when it comes to buying stuff, it feels like, but. I mean, they're I think we're diminishing the record a little bit here.
Oh yeah, no, it's a big deal.
It's now
It stood for 40 years.
Now you could also argue
16
if it's a
or
7,
17
right.
games.
So here's my thing.
Now then again, you could argue with Eric Dickerson. OJ had it in 14 games, and Dickerson did it in 16. So
Okay,
what's the real
OJ's?
record? Which is only 100 yards less. Or
Okay,
less.
so
Maybe even
he'll
less.
pass all
It's
of them.
60
obviously.
yards less. The point is, if OJ had 16 games, he would be way ahead of everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, I think he'll probably break it before the final game. Is my prediction.
Whoa, I don't.
I mean,
when he needs to average to do it?
130, 140.
No. He needs to average 151 and a half yards per game to get there.
Well, isn't he six?
In
He's
4
600
games.
yards away.
In 4
607.
games. Yeah, so think about
They have
it.
5 left.
But to get it in 4, you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
To get it
I thought you were saying
before the
150,
no.
yeah.
I'm saying to get it before, so the last game doesn't matter. To
Right.
break it the week before the final
You
week
need
of the season,
150. Again.
you would need 151 and a half yards per game to break it.
I don't think that's that crazy.
I mean, it's not
Because
crazy,
he
but
could
it's
easily
also,
have over
but
200.
it's not likely.
I think it's like 50-50. I mean, yeah, be curious to know how many times he's topped 150 this year. Now they are playing really bad run defenses the rest of the way.
Especially the Panthers.
Right. So Jimmy Kempski, Philly voice, like I saw this tweet. Like I think in their final 5 games, 4 of them are like 4 of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. So like it's not crazy to think he could get like 170 this week.
So he has gone over 153 times this season.
All right. So there you go. So
I mean, that's not likely.
No, it's not likely, but I'm saying he's done
he was
it.
at 147. So his games 109, 95, 147, 84, 47. Man, that Cleveland game really hurt him.
Yeah.
176, 108, 159, 66 in that Dallas game. 146, 255, 107. I mean, without that 255, it's not even a discussion.
Yeah, but
he had it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Right.
But my point is, looking at those numbers, it is less likely than likely.
But I think like there is a shot
in the 4 games. The 5 games is a whole different story.
Right. So
but to do it in 4 games, I would say it is there's definitely a shot. I would say it is unlikely.
So it's tough. Like, because I do think the record matters. And I do think, again, I understand 100%. Like, we're not going to argue about this. Like, I understand why the Super Bowl matters more, to be clear.
Okay, good.
I it's for Philly. I get all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't get in his head. I'm 99% sure that winning the Super Bowl matters more to Saquon than the record.
Yeah, I would probably say so. Yeah. Now I'll say I wouldn't be upset if Saquon,
if he wants to, of course.
Yeah,
I think the record matters to him. I'm just saying I do think
I don't think it's like selfish to care about the record.
I think he does care about the. I just think he's the type of guy who cares about winning the Super Bowl more.
But we also need to acknowledge, like, it's a record that's been held for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe, who knows? Maybe we're about to go on a streak where, like, running backs come close every year.
Unlikely.
Who knows, right? But
the way the game is,
like, there's a shot that, like, if Saquon gets this, like, it is something that is an Eagles legend for, like, 50 years, right? Where it's like, every year we can, like, the rushing record was in an Eagles uniform.
So
while I do get the Super Bowl, obviously. Now, I have to say this because I can't help myself. You don't have to react. Like, there is a Super Bowl winner every year.
I knew you were going to say
I know.
It. No, you can't.
I know, but I have to say it. Like, whereas the rushing record.
But again, it's individual.
I get it. I get
individual.
it. I get it. I'm just like, I think that.
Like, Saquon doing the rushing records is cool for Eagles fans. It is not something that makes Eagles fans celebrate in the street.
I get that.
You know?
I get that. But, like, it's not like they're chasing, Saquon's personal season record or like
I get it.
some obscure
thing.
Don't
have to. I think the state.
But this is why I'm torn because, like, while on one hand, I think like the mature, like,
I don't even think it's just what it is. It's winning the Super Bowl is more important. It's more important to all of us.
No, I know, but like so that's why I'm like, I get it. Don't play him. Like, I get it, right? But on the other hand, like it is a shot at something that you don't always get.
I get it. You just have to weigh the two. And
I know.
It is what it is. And again, that's why I think the most fascinating thing is if we're at 60 or 70 or whatever, then it's a real discussion. Then like I said, like 40, and then I'm like maybe 50. Like, I don't know. Like it's hard when you look in like, could he do it in a quarter? Could you do it in a half? Could he, like, I don't.
And I go back and forth on
I am torn on it as well. My thing is more like
if it's now that we talk through it.
I don't.
It depends on the yardage. Obviously.
I think if he's 100 yards away, they don't do it. I think if he's 30 yards away, they do it. I think that they are going to, because think about it this way. If you're Nick, if you're the Eagles, and God forbid you let him play and he's 100 yards and he gets hurt.
Or God forbid Jordan Mailata, like,
or any of them get hurt.
Right.
Like, you never live it down, ever. Especially if you don't win the Super Bowl. Like, if you go on to win the Super Bowl,
don't get it, too.
That's my point. Either way, get it or not.
Yeah.
If you lose if you do not win the Super Bowl that year, like maybe you still win if an injury happens or whatever, but if you don't win the Super Bowl and you went for that record, whether you get it or not, like, you are crushed forever. If someone got hurt, you didn't win the Super Bowl.
Well, here's the other part of it. Let's say you play him, like, he gets the record, but like Lane Johnson twists his knee and he's out for the playoffs.
It's not worth it.
Well, I think I think locally, like, it taints the record. And I actually think it becomes part of the discussion when other people bring it up,
exactly. You're so right.
Now, look, they could not win the Super Bowl anyway. So
forever.
Right. It's not like they're.
That's the point. That's why I said they could still win even if they get an injury.
Or they could not. Like,
right. It could go either way. But the point is the injury might not
would
matter one way or the other. But the point is we would always look at that injury and say if he did get hurt, what could have happened?
Now, here's a question. Do you increase his carries these next few weeks just to, like, because that's one way to go for it.
Sure.
It's not super obvious.
Like, a little, like, I'm not totally against it.
Because the other part of that is, in theory, you should be trying to rest
wear and tear. I know. That's why. And I do think, look, there's something else to it. Like, if you're the 1 seed versus the 2 seed, where it's if you're the 1 seed and you need 50 yards or whatever, you do have that, like the injury is an issue, but the rest part, you'd be like, oh, we got a bye coming up. Like maybe,
Right.
but if you're the 2 seed and you're like, we're playing a game next week, like
right.
it's even more like
Now,
there's so many little
Also, what
pieces.
are the
It
chances?
is a fascinating.
It is.
It's one of the more fascinating, like potential hypothetical things that could play out that we've had a year.
Well, and the other thing is, like, is it a bit of a burden? Like, like in the way that this is something they're going to have to think about and manage.
Well, I mean, like for Kellen and Nick, I think more than anyone.
Yeah.
To your point, what you just said, like they have to go into every football game, and Nick's really good about talking this way, and we're humans, and it's hard to, who knows what you actually are in the moment, but he's really good about talking about like everything is like resets, it's even, it's a new game, it's a new thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Like their job is to go into every game and do the best they can to win the football game. So like, if that means throwing the ball more, they have to throw the right theoretically. Yeah. I'm saying, so it is, there are so many little like weird, angles on this thing that make it such a, and I do feel for Nick and Kellen in that, like, I do think that's a burden. I do think that's hey, we got this guy going for this thing, but also like, hey, they're not covering AJ, or they're, like, we got to do that. We got to do that thing, Let
me put this hypothetical to you. And this is a clear hypothetical because I do not think this will happen, but I'm just curious. What if he's 78 yards short going into the final week, right? Like where it's just obtainable, but like it.
By the way, and he is playing the Giants last week,
and he's playing the Giants.
Like the whole other.
Okay, this is where I'm going. What if Saquon goes to Nick and goes, "I want it"?
Well, so I think they will ask Saquon.
Or what if Jeffrey's like, "I want Saquon to get"?
I don't think that's my point. Is
what if he says yes?
I don't think Saquon will say he wants it.
But what if he does? That's the danger of asking him.
Well, I know that's the point. Yeah, I agree.
And what would you do? Would you say no? Sorry, man. Because that's an interesting component
I would
too.
Say
like
I have to protect you, man. Like I know.
What if you're like risk? I don't know.
I know. That's why this is so fascinating.
I agree.
On so many levels. Like there's so many little angles to it.
Man, let me tell you. Who knows if he'll get close enough? But if he does, that week leading up to it
will be amazing. That's why, I can't. Like I want him to get it, obviously, but I'm also part of me. Like if he just had like 40 yards this week, and it was just like,
that's why I meant about a burden. Like, is there
cool.
Is there a little part of you?
Let's just worry about winning the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah. Do you think there's a little part of him that's like hopes this doesn't become a thing?
Maybe.
And they're gonna have meetings about this.
A little
like,
bit,
Jeffrey
especially
will be
because
Howie,
like Saquon, I think is such a unique situation where, like, he is, other than the 1 year they lost 38-7, like he's never won in the NFL before, and he's like a guy who, the way he talks, at least,
right,
he really cares about it.
The record is a big deal.
I get it.
I know.
That's why I'm saying it's such an interesting position for Saquon as well. Like, what does he care more? I'm sure he cares more about winning a Super Bowl, but my point being that, like, to what level, to what degree versus wanting the record?
Before we end this, and obviously we'll change our mind 800 times, but just right now, sitting here today, what do you think they'll do? What would you do? And what would you want to do?
Okay, so are we just saying, like, let's say he has a certain amount of yards to go. Like, let's say it's 70, 80, or like the.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
We do need.
Let's say it's over
20
80
yards. Of course,
let's say it's 80.
80. All right, so I would not play him. I would
that
not.
Would be your mature, like you're in the booth, like making the decision.
Again, week 18 or week,
doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. He's 80 yards away. I'm like, Saquon, I know this is cool.
Well,
I'm really sorry, man.
Here's another component to this. If they have a bye week, is there an element?
Well, that's what's interesting. That's why I don't know. That's part.
Yeah.
I lean in just a normal hypothetical. I lean towards not playing him. I think the Eagles would not play him in that scenario.
That's where I'm at.
And so that's where I'm at.
I would want to so bad.
I know. It's really.
I mean, also like
it's so fascinating.
If we could be like selfish for a minute, like it would be really cool to like cover the game.
Of
or like,
course it would.
Do a pod about it.
Of course it would. Like, hey, remember when Saquon broke the record? We talked.
Yeah.
Especially because Joe mentioned this in the year, and he's right. Like, we don't really have those in Philly. Like, we were trying to go through like what's the best like record that we hold in Philly.
The dumb Wilt 100 points.
That's it. Yeah, that's what we came up with. We were like, well, it's 100 points is it. Like, that's
and no one isn't.
No one knows that. I mean, we know. I think it happened, but I know there are people.
But that's why, and then we can end it. But like, that's why I do think like a little bit. It's not the Super Bowl, but like it is a big deal, right?
It'd be so much easier if they just stunk and they could just,
like I don't think it would.
Team just,
I don't think it would be that type of moment. But I still remember watching Emmett break the all-time record, and like they stopped the game.
I remember it vividly,
right? And so it is. Although now I can't remember if he was a Cardinal or a Cowboy. Wasn't he a Cardinal against the Cowboys? That was it. Yeah. But like,
I think so.
Do you think they'd stop the game if Saquon does it?
Yeah.
Like, think about that. That would be.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I hope they go for it. But then I also see why you wouldn't. I don't know.
I just hope he gets it. How about that? Let's just
Yeah,
say
well, that's
hope
why I
he
think the
gets it.
simplest one is do it in 5.
I hope he gets.
That's the simplest one.
All right, let's get to final thoughts.
All right, so I have 2, but I'm gonna go with this one.
Good, and you could do the other
Yeah, exactly.
today, tomorrow.
All right.
Yes.
So, like, can we just talk about how much better bears have it with hibernation as opposed to migration? Think about this. Birds have to
This
fly.
is a all-time great take.
Like, birds have,
Phenomenal.
like, think about the 2 options here.
How you could sleep?
It's
or you could
winter.
fly.
You can either go sit somewhere cozy for 7 months. No one bothers you. You don't have to wake up.
Yeah.
Birds have to fly all the way and then, I think, come back. I mean, I would just stay if I was a bird. Like, that's the other question. Why do birds keep coming back?
Yeah, I don't. So I'm always. I don't.
Do you know the answers to any of this?
I don't.
I'm very not invested in that type of thing, so I don't know either. I always wondered, like the monarch butterfly. They always talk about it going south.
Dude,
right?
I was in Maine.
Like, how the hell does that get back? Does it
Exactly.
come back? Like, it has to fly all. Like, there's no
Also,
way, right?
underrated.
Like,
They
there's
can
no
find their way there. Like, just we think about it.
It's. I mean, especially a butterfly. Like,
Yeah.
like a bird can soar. A butterfly.
Butterflies even have eyes. Like, I feel like they're
I
like,
think they do.
yeah, I'm sure they do. But like, think about it. A bear is just like, oh, it's a little cold.
Great
You know
take.
what that means?
Now the only issue is that you are like giving up 7 months of your life every year, where you're like, I only live 5 months of the year.
But
Essentially,
you're also probably definitely surviving
yeah.
hibernation.
It's a fascinating one. I agree.
Migration.
I would much rather hibernate than migrate. No question.
Easily.
I don't-
Especially
I
if you
don't
can do
really
it with somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
You hibernate together, man.
I mean, seriously, think about the day before you're
Pull
starting.
up in the old cave there.
Like, here's a question. Then we'll like, how many miles do you think like birds and butterflies travel like in a normal summer day? Like they're not going like 50 miles every day.
Yeah.
So imagine,
whatever guess I have would be the most based in nothing.
yeah,
I have
exactly.
no
right.
clue.
Let's say it's 4 miles, right? Like, imagine.
It's like I have no idea what it's gonna be. It's like, all right,
Let's say 4 miles. Like, imagine the day before you're about to leave. It's like we got to go 800 miles. Literally just because it's cold. And then we have to come all the way back.
Yeah,
I
all
think.
the way back.
Hibernating, it's like, what are you going to do tomorrow? You'll never guess what I
It's
get.
great
to
work
do.
by you.
Thank you.
Really good. All right. So happy birthday, Zoe.
Today?
Yesterday.
What? Okay.
It was her
Happy birthday,
it was her
Zoe.
6th birthday yesterday.
It's a big one.
Here, I will
More than
I won't
one
play-
hand.
I won't play volume, but this is just to give you an idea of how much Zoe loved her birthday. I'm going to show Elliot a video while we're talking. This is of her cousin and her aunt going to wish her happy birthday
Calling
and sing her. Yeah, FaceTime.
Okay.
This is just the end of it, but just you don't need the volume. You can just see.
Lots of joy in that.
Like,
face.
look at this. Like the right? Like the pure, like
yes.
unadulterated excitement.
I love the feeling of like, yes. that's
Yes,
right.
like this is she
My
loves her
birthday.
birthday.
My
She ends up
birthday.
kissing the screen at the end. You'll see
Very
there.
cute.
Very
nice.
adorable. Okay.
I like
So,
the tree.
What we did for Zoe's birthday, had a great day. Went
Yeah.
to school, did all this cool stuff. It was really fun. But we ended up deciding at the end of the night, she's never seen The Lion King.
Wow, this is so crazy because one of my friends posted on Instagram yesterday. They showed The Lion King the first time.
That's so
yesterday.
weird.
I
So we
know.
watched, and Zoe has not been great at making it all the way through movies. So watch part over. We watched the
Amen.
whole Lion King.
Wow.
Kicked ass last night. I stayed up late. I didn't care.
Wow. What time did you start it?
We ended it at like 9. So we started like
Okay.
7:30 or something. I watched it straight through. Like never like
Right.
90 minutes bang, watched the whole
Right,
movie.
right.
Except for a tiny little portion where we had to pause it because Zoe melted down when Mufasa died. Like
Really?
I am talking
That's funny.
8 minutes of tears. He was so fierce. He
Fierce.
was my favorite character. How could it? It was like I probably should.
Well, you saw they're making a Mufasa movie.
You know.
So you
I
can be like,
probably should have primed her for it a little more. Like I was like, oh, you know, kind of let
oh,
her
it's
know.
a spoiler.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what. But first and foremost, like, yo, Mufasa's death is dark. Like,
Well, it's so
I
funny you
can't-
bring that up too, because Joe just tweeted.
I know he
about
just
that.
watched it
Yeah.
first. I can't like I'd forgotten how and I know that it's always with Disney, Bambi and
Right.
Dumbo and like forever. But like
Does Dumbo die?
Dumbo's parents. I'm saying that like the
Okay,
parents
alright.
always die. Like it's
Yeah,
like a thing.
yeah.
But like Frozen, you know, even later.
Batman.
But like Mufasa's death is like really tough for a kids movie. Like it is a
So doesn't he fall into the
falls
get
in the thing,
stampeded?
but then
yeah.
they blame, you know, Scar tells
Right,
Simba
right.
it's his fault.
Scar's the one that like
Get-
lets him fall off. the
Yes,
thing.
Scar is the brother. By the way, Jeremy Irons doing all-time voice work as Scar. He is so great.
That's what I've always said.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know you have.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a big Jeremy Irons guy.
I am. Yeah. I mean,
just like I had forgotten. It had been a long time since I watched the Lion King.
doesn't
And
Simba
certainly
find
watching
him?
with a 6-year-old. Yeah, Simba's there. He's part of the whole thing. He's
Right.
the reason of the Sam, or Anyway, I just had forgotten how like crushing it. Zoe was like inconsolable for him. And we brought it back around. We're like, don't worry, he'll be back. Like he's gonna talk to him in the sky.
Right.
And it was all good. And by the end, she was like, Simba,
Right.
loved it.
Well, if you really think
we had
Mufasa,
a great experience, but like, let me tell you, like meltdown when Mufasa died.
If you really think Mufasa died, I feel like you're pretty invested in the movie there on out.
Oh,
like,
in
terms of like,
she was
if
so
you're like,
jacked in.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was so fierce. I couldn't believe when she was crying. He
I maybe
was
wouldn't
so fierce.
tell-
I was like, what a line.
wouldn't tell Zoe this, but it's crazy to think Mufasa probably got eaten by like.
Yeah, the scavengers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. He totally did.
gotta
Not
be upsetting.
probably. He
Like, if you're-
definitely did.
Yeah, yeah.
Vultures and
I
all
wouldn't
that.
bring that up to her. But
What a horrible thought that was. Wow.
like, don't worry, Zoe.
What a dark angle to take on it.
he'll be.
Hey, man, you ever thought about Mufasa gets eaten like
I
right
mean,
after that? Like,
I mean,
just
it's a
gets-
cartoon. So
he's
in
like
theory, he
dinner
just-
for everyone.
Yeah. Are you gonna take her to see Mufasa?
We told her like a little while ago, like you got to be able to make it through movies at home to go to
Right.
the movie theater.
Fair rule.
What a freaking moment!
yeah,
Whole
yeah,
movie, 90 minutes.
yeah.
Maybe the
Now-
the tears in the middle. Maybe
Right.
there-
Right.
It was great. It was a really really cool experience. So shout out to the Lion King.
Yeah. Great movie.
Great movie. It
Probably
really is
the
a great
best.
movie.
It probably is the best animated movie of all time.
Other
If-
than
I mean,
Toy Story
well,
3. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider that the same, but yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Of the old school animated, it's up
Right.
there.
Of like
I've
the
always been-
drawings.
I've loved Aladdin. I just loved Aladdin. I think Robin Williams in Aladdin is probably the best thing in all of those. But I agree with you.
Yeah,
As a
Aladdin's
movie,
good, but
I think Lion King's a better movie.
Yes.
I agree. And Tucker looked at me weird. Toy Story 3, the best animated movie ever
No, it's the worst Toy Story movie.
made. Oh, this is the worst take you've ever had.
Right before we
No.
get to the park spot.
What is happening? Toy Story 3 easily. I'm not the only person who thinks this. Quentin Tarantino also said best animated movie ever. He actually said one of the best movies ever made. Period. Toy Story.
I drove outside of Quentin Tarantino's house in LA.
Ooh, was it thrilling?
No.
Yeah. So take that. It's you versus me and Quentin. I'll take
Now,
Quentin
that's
on my
fine.
side.
But Toy Story is the most. I mean, we've been over this. The
It's
most
so
important movie.
It's
Yeah.
up there.
It
One of
changed
the most
world.
important movies ever made.
I agree.
Without a doubt. We're on the same page.
Okay, I'm glad you agree.
How rare is it that there's a movie take? We're live.
Yeah, you're right. I thought you were being sarcastic.
No, I'm
for a
dead
second.
serious.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Toy Story is one of the 10 whatever. I don't know. I'd have to make a list. But it's one of the most important movies ever made.
yeah,
Like
agree.
it's hard to say like the jazz singer, the first,
No, I'm saying
the
this-
first talkie, pretty important.
Yeah,
So like
agreed.
it's hard to like judge, but I think Toy Story absolutely one of the most important movies ever made.
So is that your final thought?
It was part of it. Sure, we're all done.
Well, no, I meant like.
Yeah.
related to-
Zoe's
yeah.
shout out to
Okay.
Zoe's
Yeah.
birthday
Yeah,
and
all
just
right,
the
yeah.
Lion King thing. Like I just
Yeah.
forgotten how like maybe let your kids know Mufasa's gonna die. I don't know. I'm not a big
It's a
spoiler
tough
guy,
one.
but
I don't know if you.
if you want to
spoil, yeah.
avoid it, now to be fair, Zoe's like us. Elliot and I we're big feelers.
Yes.
We wear our emotions on our sleeve. We feel big. Zoe feels big.
Yeah.
But it
It's
was
good
great.
quality to have.
It is.
Yeah.
It was an awesome.
Better that than not.
That's why you get that jubilant excitement
Yes.
for your birthday.
Yes.
Anyway.
What a roller coaster yesterday was.
Yes,
It's funny to picture when she's like 2 years from now. Like, how was your birthday? It's like, well, Mufasa died.
Yeah. Well, I'm
It was a bit of a
I'm
buzzkill.
actually really happy you said this because at one point she goes, "Is he gonna come back?" She goes, "It's my birthday. I want him to come back."
Yeah, it's like, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the literal Lion King.
The
died.
worst was the like 3 minutes where I was like, "Oh my god, I ruined her birthday by showing up."
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was really great. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Parks Picks Pod. Until then, he's item James.
All right.
Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you. By the way, you might not know this. There's a photo shoot going on right behind you.
Like of my back.
Yeah. I
Should I
feel like
turn
you should be
around?
out there like hopping in and just doing your thing.
Oh, I think that's like a fun like. So today's the Radiothon.
See, because I see photo shoot, I think Eliot.
No, I agree.
Okay.
Now, what the sad thing is, I'm not photogenic. So like, as much as I love it, and that's okay. You don't have to lie to me. I'm aware of it. It's okay. I know. It's this when you have big cheeks and you smile, they push up. It's fine.
You
I know
thought
I'm
about
better
this far
looking.
too much.
It's all I think. Think how much I'm in front of a camera and how many photos I
You
take.
know what's funny is I never really think about it. Like I know that I'm like somewhat
Because you're
photogenic.
photogenic. Yeah. Tucker, would you say you're photogenic? I think you would have a similar problem to me.
I think
we
I'm
both
pretty
have
close
big
to you.
cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I look better when I don't think about it.
So I look better when
Like a
whatever.
candid.
Now you have a wedding coming up. Like,
I do.
how you feeling about it? Not the wedding in general, but the photo part of it.
I haven't really thought about the photo.
No, I
part yet.
didn't. I wouldn't
Something
be
to
there.
think about.
We
I
didn't
mean,
even
it's
have
the
our
most
wedding
We
photos.
did get engagement photos done, and I
Oh,
thought they
those
went
turned
really
out.
well.
True, but the one you
I
sent,
hope one of them is on your fridge right now.
well, it is. That's what I was gonna say. The one you're not really looking straight. If I'm mistaken, you're like looking. So
Yes.
it's not a straight on.
No.
That is such a funny life thing, the engagement photos.
Yeah,
when
we
you
didn't
take-
do them.
Yeah, we did engagement, but we
I
don't.
kind of wish we did. Although I take back
It's just
photos,
such a
so.
funny thing because it's like, all right, we're gonna go. Like it's like your own photo shoot. Like you're going around like, all right,
Well,
now stand this way. Oh, I got it. Link your arm. Like it's
yeah,
just such.
I
like,
agree. It is
If
like
you're like a normal person, who
look at
doesn't
each
do
other,
this, yeah,
right,
it's just it's a unique thing to do.
yeah. The wedding photos are similar to that too. It's like like that.
All right, everyone do the shooters.
Well,
All right,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But also like I don't know if you guys did it. Well, I guess we'll find out what you do. But like
Ooh.
before you got
Jeez.
married or after, but like it is funny when you do the whole like, now hold her this way and like look at each other lovingly.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It's so weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
But our photos turned out great. So
I'm so happy.
those are worth spending money on.
There you go.
Like if you're gonna rank the wedding spending money things.
I would say the vast majority of it is not worth spending money on. But
I'm saying
weddings
if
are
you're
fun.
spending the money,
Yeah.
like
Get a band.
having great wedding photos.
You had a great band. Great bands are important.
Did have a great
I
band.
think great
that
band's
was
super
worth it.
important,
You're
yeah.
doing a band, Tucker?
Yes.
Band and
right, that's
liquor
good.
are really the two things, in my opinion, that
Yeah.
are the most
I mean,
important. parts of
unlimited
wedding.
bar, obviously.
So I'm saying band and alcohol are those were the two things in my wedding that I cared the most
I
about.
have a question for you.
Yes.
If you didn't have to give a wedding gift, so you didn't have to,
Ooh,
whatever you
I like-
normally give,
I like where this is going.
but you paid for drinks, would you trade that?
yeah, I mean, obviously, I give a much bigger wedding gift than I drink at a wedding.
So let's think about this for a second.
So like,
right?
all
let's
right,
say you drink 5 old fashions at a wedding,
I give like $300 as a wedding gift.
but that's for you and Emily, I'm assuming. Unless
Uh-huh.
you mean per
Oh, that's
per
a good point.
person.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so like, let's
I
say
give 3 at 500, depending on like if it's a really
yeah,
close
well,
friend.
500. Look at you.
Well, it's like a
Jeez.
really close
Well,
friend.
I think 300 is pretty generous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a generous guy.
You are. 500 is.
So that's my point. Like, I'm
Curious to look and
probably
see
not
what you gave
drinking
me.
between Emily and I. We're probably drinking like maybe we're drinking like 200, right? Out 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think ultimately I'd rather give the gift because you don't have to like track it throughout the night.
Yeah, I'd rather
Pay,
just give the
card.
gift. I agree.
Yeah.
But in terms of like what's cheaper, I think
Yes.
it's cheaper to
Agreed.
buy
You're
the
right. You're
Okay. All right.
right.
Football.
Dude, let me tell you. Now, the sad thing is most people listen to this likely after the game.
Yes.
But
So, well, will it even be out before the game? Are we putting it out today? Or are we putting out the other pod out today and it's out Friday morning? My guess is this is actually coming
you're
out
right.
after.
So everyone will have listened.
Yeah.
Everyone will watch the game.
So let's give our thoughts on the game tonight.
Dude, I can't believe the Eagles are going to be the ones. or
So big game for the Eagles.
well, I was going to say this, that, and I'm just going to say it anyway. Like, I can't remember the last time I was this excited for a football game that didn't involve the Eagles.
so
Just in terms of like, I'm going to sit down, assuming Kristen lets me, and watch it like full.
let me. Can I? There's no stronger way to say this.
Oh, you're going to be asleep.
I'm watching Thursday Night Football.
Wow.
I am.
You're going to stay up for the whole thing?
Like assuming it's not a blow. If it's a blowout, I'll go to
Right,
bed.
right.
But I am staying up late tonight. I'm getting my 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is to sleep. I am watching Thursday Night Football
Yeah,
tonight. Like that's how big it is. Like
Especially if it's close.
other than the Eagles, I have watched zero. Like I've maybe been awake for the beginning of a game or whatever.
Which is wild because we picked 60%
Yeah,
of the games
it's hilarious. Well,
correct.
just
yeah.
Thursday night though. I watch
Yeah.
everything else.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like,
Okay, yeah.
my point is Thursday night. Fridays are a really tough day for me. I got hammered.
Yeah,
like, every
yeah,
week. Like
yeah.
I have to come in early on
The
Fridays.
games
like,
aren't normally that
like, and
great.
I'm up at 3 a.m. on Friday. Like if it matters, like I'm up tonight.
Right.
But my point is like up till now, other than the Eagles game, I've watched almost no Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
That's how big this game is. Like I am staying up tonight to watch it. I'm actually going to Tommy's for the first half. If you're around, if you want to do
Nah,
that,
sorry.
not feeling it.
Well, so
That's
this,
the point. I'm going to a buddy's house to watch a half.
I know,
Like,
no, and it does
I'm
sound
in.
fun.
I'm in.
So the other thing, this is where here will be my level of commitment. You ready? I've been very into recently, like my heart rate before I go to sleep.
Yeah, so you've got the ring thing.
I know,
Yeah.
right. So I've been like obsessed with like starting at 9 o'clock. I drink my sleepy time tea and I have my sleepy gummies, right? Not weed gummies, to be clear.
Not that
but
there's anything wrong.
no, there's anything wrong with that. I'm just making that aware for any kids listening. But this is what I want to talk to you about. But anyway, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna stay up later than I normally do.
I'm proud of you,
Maybe
buddy.
get good food. Like
Yeah.
all right. So we need to talk about the post game press conference and the BS, the like use of the word BS.
Oh yeah. I want to
Okay.
get into this. Okay, yeah. So I didn't even know.
I'll
about
set the
this at first.
table.
Yes, set the
Set the stage. So after the Ravens game, Nick Serianni's at the podium. First of all, Nick with adrenaline in his body
he
is
brings
like,
it.
yeah, just talk about like literally you and him and like a happy dog.
I
Like
know.
those are like the 3 things I would compare to like, dude, during the press conference, Saquon's going, Nick's in the other room. It's like a caged animal. Like he's singing like Michael Jackson. He's like laughing. It's like, you can just tell he's ready to get out there. But anyway, so he goes out there and he's talking about Jalen.
He's like that meme where the like people put the head on like the guy walking out to the crowd and he's doing like the kind of like cool.
Oh
walk.
yes, that's exactly.
It's like
yeah.
Nick.
Oh, dude, Nick, if they win the Super Bowl,
I love that meme.
I
It's a great
do
meme.
too. Yeah. I honestly, if I'm the Eagles, I almost wouldn't let it give the speech.
I know.
Just like
it's like the what's gonna happen.
yeah.
He's gonna be the one dressing up in the Mumpers outfit.
Here's what he
the
should do.
Kelsey speech.
He should show up with his kids, drop the mic.
Yeah, he should.
That'd be
amazing.
aggressive. But okay, so anyway, he gets to the podium and he says, Jalen is not a game manager. And I won't say the word.
Basically says it's BS.
It's
he
BS,
says the
but
word
he says
that he's
the
not
full word.
that he's being called a game manager and he's not getting more credit.
So then Jalen's at the podium. And I want to ask Jalen about what Nick said. And I use the word BS in the question. Thoughts? Before I give my explanation.
So through text, I was mostly joking with you about
I know, yeah.
when you explain it that way, like I think it's fair. You're quoting Nick Serianni.
So my
I would be a little gun shy about. And now I know you have this weird.
I don't think it's a curse word.
You don't believe the S word is a curse word.
Correct.
I vehemently disagree with you about that.
It's fine.
The FCC vehemently.
I agree. Well, I'm not saying it now because of Tucker, and I'm not saying it on the air. Like I get it.
I like how we only don't curse because of Tucker now, which is great. Believe that. And funny because we made fun of his name earlier.
Right, exactly.
Where that was going. So I am more okay with it than I thought it'd be. I think you're quoting it. Now I think you could have said, hey, Nick said it was BS, you know, and you could have done that.
Here's some other context. When I went to Jalen, I said, Nick said it was, and I said the full thing, but I did like the little air quote
unquote.
Yeah. To make it clear I wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
BS.
I think it was appropriate. Like, I think Nick used that word to show emotion, and I think Jalen needed to know the emotion that Nick felt.
I think it's fair. I in that case, I rescind my rip of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
By the way, I can say this, I think. So, well, no, it's fine.
Tucker's face.
I just can't tell if I can tell this. Here's a question. No,
ask the question. And then is the question telling the story?
I think it's fine, actually. So, well, no. All right.
Oh my God, he's kidding me.
I just don't want to get the person in trouble.
No, don't.
So
get
yeah,
in
okay,
trouble.
yeah.
So if you see Elliot in public, ask him.
I think it's probably fine, but it's okay.
Oh, we'll have to find out after the pod. Tucker, don't let me forget.
And I guess if you see me in public, I'll tell you this.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I always love a good see me in public. And
yeah,
I think about people like walking the streets, like, I gotta know the story.
Ellie, what was the thing that you thought was okay but wasn't, but you thought was probably was, but then you said
All right. Packers, Lions. We'll get to the line in a sec, but just the enormity of this game. We talked about we're both going to watch it. Where are you at with
Lions? Pretty banged up.
Lions banged up. Like
now again,
people keep
by the time we
saying
hear
they're,
this,
so banged up.
we don't
like
have to go
they're
into
missing
it.
a few defensive players. They're not like a disaster. They've got all their offensive guys. Like
here's,
they're not that bad.
Here's what I'll say. I think the Eagles are going to be the 1 seed. That is my
one way or another.
Yes, I think the Lions are not playing as well. It's a good phrase. The Lions are not playing as well. They have a tough schedule coming up. I think they're going to lose to the Bills. I don't think they'll escape the Vikings, Packers, Bills, and Packers without a loss. So I think the Eagles are going to.
And you think the Eagles are going to win out?
Yes, I do.
I think we're looking at a 15-2 Eagles.
So did you see what Drew from Westchester tweeted?
I did not.
That no team has won. Dude, he's so it's no. I should probably look it up directly. But he looked up.
If Drew says it, it's true.
Well, no, I just mean I want to make sure that people hear it correctly. If you
read the actual tweet.
Yes. Okay, so the Eagles, if they win out, would be on. The Eagles run the table through the Super Bowl. Would be a 16 or 17 game winning streak, depending what seed they are. He looked back at the last 20 champions, and the longest streak any of them ended on was 10.
Wow, a little nervous.
It convinced me a little bit to lose a game. Now, that's the other part. If you throw week 18, going back to the Saquon thing.
Interesting, too. Again, it's all going to
doesn't really count. But anyway, long story short, because by the time this is out, people will have heard the game, seen the game.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are going to be the 1 seed.
Okay, so let's.
And I think that, we'll make a pick.
Let's pick the game. Did you know the line?
I don't. I mean, I'm going to guess it's like Lions minus 2.5 or 3 or something.
3.5.
Okay. I guess I should have picked one there.
Mm-hmm.
For the spreadsheet.
Yeah, for this. Oh, by the way, before you go on,
I saw it. It's my new happy place.
So shout out to Stokes, unbelievable spreadsheet that he uses.
And there's nothing like keeping up with a good spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's great. But
I
also
sent you guys a lead spreadsheet. Neither of you responded. So screw both.
So I wanted to respond.
No,
but
it's fine.
I know. I saw
a
it.
little video.
Well, it's because of the video. I am bad with videos when I'm like doing other things.
I'm fine with that.
To watch a video.
Tucker, what's your excuse?
Yeah, Tucker.
Did you watch it?
You said on like a Saturday night. I
was in the middle of something and I couldn't.
So you both watched it.
I did watch it. It was actually really nice. I did enjoy watching it.
And what'd you
With
do
the
after?
Colors and everything.
Throw your phone.
So I didn't watch it. That's what
Yeah.
I would have responded if I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna watch
fine.
it. It's not fine. It's not okay.
They lost the last game, so
It's
the
not
spreadsheet's not fun anymore.
For those wondering, Elliot went 10-6 last week. I went 11-5 on the season. Elliot is 105-70. That's 35 games over 500.
Crazy.
It's a 60% winning percentage.
Dude, last year I think I was like 8 games
I
under.
know. And I am only a couple games better, 3 games better. I am 108-67. I am a 61.7% winning.
Crazy.
This is nuts.
BANANAS.
Now we're gonna suck.
Yes.
Get ready for our down week.
I think I'm gonna take the Lions.
Wow. I'm gonna go wishful thinking and take the Packers.
That's fine.
I don't feel good about it. I appreciate you. I thought you were.
I think their
definitely heading
loss
towards
is the
Packers.
Bills. Like, no, I'll take the Packers. I'll
he's
take the
back.
Packers.
Okay.
I'll take the Packers.
Good. I like it.
Official pick. I'm taking the Packers.
Okay. All right. Let's get to Sunday. Falcons at the Vikings.
It is crazy what fake like
the Vikings are the fakest.
I know,
energy.
but it's
just
they're
like
such
that
a waste
13
of
and 4.
time,
I
and
know.
you have to worry about
Dude, they
them.
win
Like
every game by a point.
Yeah.
Like, they should have lost to Arizona.
in Minnesota,
It's in Minnesota.
Vikings -4.
5.5.
Ooh,
Kirk Cousins coming off the 4 a.m.
yeah, I think that's fair. I'll take the Vikings. I don't think Kirk Cousins gonna move the ball in that defense.
I'll take the Falcons. I'll just take the points. I don't think the Vikings are going to blow anyone
Fair.
out. All right. Panthers at the Eagles. I'm assuming you know the line here.
Well, I saw it was 12.5.
It is still 12.
So I actually think this is an Eagles line. Like
I absolutely think.
Right,
it's
I think
like
this
the Panthers
means-
have been frisky.
Yeah. I won't take the 12.5 because it's a lot of points.
Mhm.
But I think the Eagles will win the game by more than 7. Put it that way.
So you're taking the Panthers.
Correct. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, you're taking the Panthers.
Correct.
For this.
I'm taking the Panthers plus 12.5. The Eagles blow teams out, but like 12.5 is
So
like
here's the
Lamar
thing.
scored that touchdown
Here's
at the end of the
thing.
week.
I am going to sacrifice my belief. I've not done this much this year, really at all. When you talk me into going against my beliefs, which
Right.
is going badly for me. I think the Panthers are going to cover. I think 12.5 is 20 points in my. I'm taking the Eagles. I've taken the Eagles
Ooh.
every week on this win streak. I'm not stopping.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
It is what it is. I've taken them to cover every single week of this. What is it? 8-game win streak.
Yeah.
I can't go back on it now.
It's a lot of points.
I think you have the correct pick.
I also will say
I'll be very happy to take it as a win if they do cover, but I am saying I am submarining my record
and since we can't talk
for the
about
greater good.
it's not a style points week for me.
No, I
Just
win
win the game.
football
Don't care.
Panthers playing
Don't
tough
care.
football.
Yeah. Don't throw interceptions.
Again,
I
I
want
think
them.
it's like a 7-point game.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take the Eagles for the sake of taking the Eagles. All right, let's keep it rolling. Browns at the Steelers.
Man,
Rematch of
Browns.
when the Browns beat them.
Yeah.
That was one of the games where I was like, "Oh, Browns! I kind of like the Browns." And you're like, "You're gonna go the Browns."
Yeah.
I think I even texted you after the game. I was like, "I wish I had."
By the way, Emily's defense, Denver, 2 picks.
Oh yeah.
You
So
know.
should we get into that? So
Nah,
for the
it's
Go Birds
fine.
League, yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty tough. So Kristen, is she done? Kristen and Emily were facing.
And
Emily
what's crazy
down
is Jameis
3 in
had
the
like
Monday night,
all these like,
and then she had the Broncos defense, and the Broncos defense put up.
and if not for the 2 pick sixes, Kristen would have got what she needed. But
would it have been enough? It was only.
well, I don't know.
she only
Jameis threw
needed-
4
She
touchdowns.
only needed
and,
3 points.
agreed. Yeah.
So,
So I don't know how that would have worked, but I would
Yeah.
think 4 touchdowns and 35 points or whatever would have been pretty.
yet they
close.
still put up a 20.
No, I know, right? I know because of the pick sixes. It would have been close. But all right, so it's obviously not Cleveland at Denver because that game just happened.
Yes,
Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yep,
Pittsburgh -5.
6.5.
I'll take Pittsburgh.
I will too.
Yeah.
I think this Browns kind of going
Yeah.
down a little bit, and I think
Big
there's
Eagles
a
game coming up, too.
revenge run. Yeah. So if the Steelers win the Eagles win, we're looking at a 10
And not getting flexed.
10
I
and
guess.
3 Steelers game versus the 11 and 2 Eagles. That'd be a real game.
Yeah.
All right, Jags at Titans.
Yeah.
Any thoughts
No
on the Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
hit the whole thing?
Yeah. My thought is like it was a bad play, but like I don't think he did it intentionally.
So if it weren't a guy he's got so many instances of doing this stuff intentionally, like he's done this a bunch of
all right,
times.
well, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is like the 5th
All
type
right.
of.
I
Like,
just think
he's been suspended before. He had one where it was like a clear like
I just
helmet.
can't get down with like the game is so much faster than
It
it
is.
looks.
It
like,
is that one. I actually think in this case this was pretty bad. I think it's the worst quarterback hit in the last like 5 years.
the Flacco one being the last one. I guess.
Since
Yeah,
whenever the Flacco
right.
one was, I think it's the most illegal quarterback.
It was
hit
not
we've seen.
good. I
Like, he
really
was
always
clearly giving himself up, and the guy went shoulder dead. Like
I
it
just
was
always
bad.
hesitate to call
I get
plays
it. The game
dirty.
goes fast.
Like yeah.
But again, when if it were someone who had never done it before, maybe I would go that way. When this guy has a history,
Okay, I didn't know he had a history.
long,
of it.
yeah,
Okay.
they put out Schefter put out a tweet with like this.
Right.
It's like 6 things that this guy has done already, similar to this. He's been suspended before for something like this.
So apparently he went up to Trevor before the game and said they before the game.
And then also after the play gets into a fight. Like he was like not
Right, well, at
didn't
that
seem
point,
remorseful at
adrenaline
all.
is like,
Whatever.
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was like, oh.
I think it can be a reckless play that he needs to play safer, but him not being like a vengeful.
I don't think he went into like I'm gonna kill Trevor
Exactly,
Lawrence here.
yeah.
But I definitely think he
wants to hit him hard. Like,
and I think he
what do you think of the whole quarterback shouldn't slide anymore thing? There's
didn't-
been that talking point. Like
I
Tom
didn't hear
Brady
it.
was talking about it, of saying like you need to protect yourself, and sliding is not protecting yourself.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Because like basically you can't count
because
on
you're
defenders
like
to not hit you.
you're defenseless.
Well, they're
at
supposed
that
to
point.
not hit you.
Yeah,
but yeah,
but-
that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Maybe Michael Vick had it right the whole time.
Yeah.
All right, so
Cody
Jags
Carson.
and Titans.
Jags at Titans. Titans -3. I don't like.
3.5. Pretty
Okay.
close.
Yeah. Woof. Do I not care about?
Yeah,
this
I'll
one.
take the Titans. I don't.
Yeah,
feel
I
bad.
guess I'll take
Yeah.
Titans. Yeah.
All right, Raiders at Bucks. A lot of woof.
Yeah. Raiders at Bucks. Bucks -5.5.
6.5. You're so close on that.
Yeah, a lot of weird lines this
But
week.
it's a good week. You're close.
Yeah,
on.
a lot of that. I'll
Good for the
take,
spreadsheet.
dude. If Aiden McConnell becomes a quarterback, I give up on basically life. Nothing against him, but like, come on, man. Like Aiden McConnell, like,
O'Connell.
yeah. I'm gonna go. I know. It's what I
You
said.
didn't even get his name right. Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell.
You said McConnell.
Well, no, I did. I didn't enunciate it. Well.
okay,
I knew it was.
It
O'Connell.
sounded like you were saying
Yeah,
Aiden McConnell.
Yeah, I think I might have said like Akon or whatever. I'll take the Bucks.
I will too.
Yeah.
Do we do the line though?
Yeah, 5.5.
Oh yes,
or
yeah,
6.5.
okay,
or
yeah.
whatever
I will
it is.
too. I kind of like the Bucks.
Yeah, they did almost lose to Detroit.
They did.
I mean,
oh, Carolina. Yeah, I forgot
Carolina.
about that.
Similar
Yeah.
uniforms.
They won though.
They did.
All right. God, let's keep the bad games rolling. Like, ew. Saints and Giants.
Dude, the Giants, like,
Worst team in football.
oh, they're so bad.
Yeah.
Saints -4.
4.5.
Okay,
Not too
yeah.
bad,
All
buddy.
right, well, pick the road team too. That was good. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take the Saints.
Same.
Like, yeah.
I don't know what else you could do here.
Drew Lock starting again, which like who cares? You know what they should do? They should sit Malik Neighbors.
They should sit Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
That's a really good call by you. What if,
Yeah.
like,
Why
like,
play any of their good players?
Does he have like a rookie records he's going for or something?
Yeah.
Your Saquon
Yeah.
thing.
Well, his matters way less than the all-time rushing record.
You know
Now,
what?
would you call it the all-time rushing record or all-time single season?
Single season
Okay.
rushing record, I would call it. I would call the yards one
All-time
that
rushing
Emmett
record you
has,
would
yeah.
consider like the
The
total
Emmett
yards.
Smith one.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
You know what that is?
I don't.
I'm just curious.
Let me try and get. I would think it's.
That seems like it's gonna be a tough one to break, especially with like running backs.
Oh
like-
yeah, it's got to be. I would.
Is
think
it
it's
like
probably,
19,000?
Oh, I don't think it's quite that high, is it? I was gonna say somewhere in the high teens, maybe
I think I'm right.
like 16 or something like that.
350.
It's 18,355.
Oh,
That was pretty
bang!
good,
That
yeah.
was very good.
What's Saquon?
I thought it was
at? Probably, like,
16. I got the 6 and 8
6 or
wrong.
7. Yeah,
I
no
think
one's
he's
no
at
one's
6.
no one's.
Yeah, he's
beating
nowhere
that.
close. Yeah.
Derrick Henry, I think would be one.
Derrick Henry's probably the best chance. He's
Yeah.
over 10,000. I think Derrick Henry, isn't he?
Being 8,000 yards short is pretty.
Saquon's at 6,700.
Yeah.
What's Derrick Henry at?
This is fun right now.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
10,909.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah,
it
so
was
no
over
one's breaking
10.
this
I knew it was over
record.
10. Yeah, it's just hard.
What's more likely? Someone scores 100 points in a game, or does the breaks Emmett? I think 100, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had like Kobe had 81.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like, I mean, that's still not there. 100's tough.
I mean, 18,000. That's a lot of work.
Probably both.
a lot
But
of
I
work.
agree. The way the game is played, I think it's unlikable. You know who didn't do it? Mike Quick. But he could have broken a receiving
did
record if
not.
he had stayed on the field. Mike Quick,
Yeah.
Seth Joyner, Jody Mack, Rob Ellis, Joe Conklin, Mark Zumoff, and us. Like Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer. We are the Bet Parks lineup. Bet Parks, the only app that we use, that we recommend, the only betting app there is as far as Go Birds is concerned. Big weekend of betting on games. We just told you how good we've been doing, which means, take it with a grain of salt this week.
Yeah.
But seriously, if you've been betting with us all year, you would be loaded right now. You would have won every parlay.
I mean,
you
and
do.
our parlays are like +5 or 6.
We're like, honestly, I'm almost speechless when I think about how good a year
Yeah.
it's been. And
We're
here's
jinxing it. We
Yeah.
try our hardest to jinx it, and we've yet to jinx it.
exactly. And here's the thing: it's just so much fun.
It is,
to have
yeah.
the app when you're watching these. We're watching all
Track
these games
it,
anyway.
yeah.
Tracking the parlay, betting on individual player performances.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, much less successful this year when I've been doing that.
Yeah,
It's so
those are,
funny.
like,
Like basically,
impossible.
the account has stayed the same because I keep, we keep winning all our ones,
Right.
but then I'll put in player bets and I lose all of them. But that's the thing; it's so much fun to track this stuff. That you
Right.
can bet on rushing yards, passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions, all that stuff. Plus,
Baccarat.
you got a casino in your hand.
Baccarat.
Blackjack, baccarat, all kinds of casino games right in your hand. You can play all kinds of online slot games. It's a blast. What an amazing thing to have in your hand.
Yeah.
You can bet on games. You can like control your destiny in your hand by winning all kinds of money on all kinds of games, on all watching games, playing games. It's the best. And listen to this. Here's an amazing deal for you new users. If you sign up now, you get up to $1,000.
That's right.
That's right. Up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Casino bonus must be wagered. All the terms and conditions are at betparks.com. You must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, or Ohio. Gambling problem going in, gambler. I love when you do a good shooters. I'm a big shooters guy.
All right.
Hey.
Let's fly through these.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta get out of here. I just gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jets and Dolphins. Ew.
I'm a little interested in watching the Aaron Rodgers documentary. Just putting it out there.
So I am
just to see.
I'm very interested in watching the Aaron Rodgers downfall, which I'm enjoying.
Well, that's already happened
immensely.
I
want him to
the Dolphins. You said in Miami.
Yeah.
Dolphins -6.
King.
Boom.
King.
Boom.
I'm
gonna take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think
they're playing well.
Yeah, they're kind of weak though, but
well, so are the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's why I said we got to take the Dolphins.
Yeah,
that might be a parlay game. All right. Nice football game here. Fine.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be that great in general, but nice in that it matters. The Seahawks at the Cardinals.
Yeah, such a fake thing. But
that's what I mean. So I was like, nice game, and then I'm like, fake nice game. But as far as this week goes, it's a great one.
I'm gonna go.
What a horrible week.
I'm gonna go Seahawks -2.
Is it possible that outside of the Seahawks +2.5?
Oh, I was off.
That's an Arizona line.
Yeah,
big time here. Honestly, I was thinking
parlay.
Seahawks. I might go Cardinals on that one.
Parlay.
Yeah. All right, that's it. We're just gonna follow the line there.
Yeah.
All right, Bills at Rams.
Bills -6.
4. Take the Bills.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Bears at the Niners. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Niners -3.
4. You've been good this week.
Yeah, closer.
I think you're taking the Bears here.
I'm down. I'll take
Niners
the Bears.
stink,
yeah,
man.
Niners I think are like
+4.
Yeah.
Kind of like it. All right.
New coach.
The new coach bump. You know, I'm a big new coach.
I think
bump
that's a parlay game.
I agree. It might be a parlay game.
So we have Chicago and
Chicago and Arizona. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait.
Hey, we're gonna miss a
Don't
parlay
question
one
us.
week. Guys.
Yeah.
Don't question us, damn it.
Yeah.
All right. Sunday Night Football. This is a fun game for Sunday Night Football. The Chargers at the Chiefs.
That is a fun one. Chiefs -4.5.
So what a week from you.
Yeah?
With 4. You've been great this week.
Thank
I
you.
would venture, Stokes, let us know.
Maybe my best week.
I would guess this is one of your better weeks in terms of at the end of the day, the average away. I'll bet you did really good this week.
I'll take the Chiefs. I know the points thing, but I think the Chiefs win the game. So it's just hard for me to. It's not 7 or 8. I know they play close, but you're taking the Chargers.
I think I'm going to take the Chargers.
All right.
I don't feel good about it at all.
Justin Herbert, primetime on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cold.
All
right.
Don't feel good about it.
No, you shouldn't.
I don't.
All right, so we have 2 in there.
I feel really bad about that pick, but I just can't take the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs never cover.
Yeah.
All right. Bengals at Cowboys. Who did thunk it?
Yeah, what a bad
Bengals
one.
at Cowboys for Monday Night Football. I won't have to stay up on Monday night.
No. Bengals -4.
5.5.
All right. I'll take the Bengals.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts.
Wait, we got to do the parlay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so we have the 2. So we're going to go Cardinals, Bears. Let me pull out the app here.
And we talked about the Dolphins. I don't love that. It's a lot of points in a divisional one.
I don't love it either.
Let me look at this.
Take a look.
Titans -3.5.
Oh God, really?
I mean,
I didn't hate it. Just
Bills -4.
Bills -4 in Los Angeles. I can do that. Should we do Bills money line on the road?
Yes. Bills money line. Cardinals.
Hold on, I have to.
Bears.
I have an update.
Right. Well, we can tell them people.
Okay, so that's the.
Yeah.
You can tell them.
It'll be +4. I'm sure.
It'll be +5.
Yeah.
So all right. So Bills money line, Bears +4, and
Bills, Bears,
and Arizona -2.5 at home.
Yep.
Love it.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. All right. Final thoughts. Then you gotta go.
Can we get serious with the fact that when you buy avocados, they're not ready to eat all the time? What other food do you purchase? And it's hold on.
bananas, stuff like that.
But you can always at least eat it. Like avocados, like
yeah,
you
they're
can in
rock
theory-
hard.
right? Like
I'm sure
and
there are other.
what are we, like,
foods.
freaking like soothsayers, like walking through, like touching them and being like, this one feels like it's maybe ready. Like, don't put the avocado out until it is ready to be eaten that day. We have technology. Like, it's absurd. I bought an avocado yesterday. I cut it open. I had to throw it out because it was like, it's not ready. And
Why did you cut it open so early? You know how they feel. Like
I was wrong. That's what I'm saying. What am I, a professional avocado feeler? Like it's absurd. Like, I don't like, my degree's not in like freaking fruit or whatever it is. Like, I'm buying an avocado because I want to put it on my toast. I get home and it's like rock hard. I throw it out. It like ruins my day for at least an hour. Like, I mean, if you put it in the fridge, it's like all brown and gross the next day.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't hate the steak. It's not,
Like,
I
figure it. Here's the thing. Figure it out.
Well, I think why they do it is because if they put them when they're ripe, they don't get bought quick enough, and then because it is. I think the point is it's a food where there's like 3 days where you can eat it, and that's it. Like it is perfect for 3 days, and then it's either over or it's too hard.
All right.
Like, it is a very like, what's the word for like anyway, I can't.
Here's the thing. Here's the
I know
thing.
you got to.
We've solved tougher problems.
Tempestuous fruit.
No,
it's not
everyone's
right.
thinking that. Like, we've solved tougher problems. Figure it out.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair.
Thank you.
Well, it's like
If I get home, my avocado's
it's like
not ready. I'm gonna freaking.
It's like the Seinfeld bit where he used to his old Sam bit were about the seedless watermelon, where he's like,
yes.
He's like, we have the best, doctors in the world. They're trying to figure out cancer. Oh, what do you do? Watermelon seeds. Got to get rid of it. That's what I'm focused on. It's like, there are other things going on to focus on, but
I would also be into them. Well, go ahead. Avocado, like I feel like you can buy guacamole.
You can.
But you can't
buy
buy
pre-cut avocado.
Yes.
But I think because it goes brown too quick.
We'll figure it out. Inject something in it. Like, who cares at this point?
Okay, good. Zoe's saying bro now.
Ah, you feel
So I don't know. So I'll be like, Zoe, can you go get like whatever? And she'll be like, bro. And I'll be like, what?
I like it, though.
6. I do too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like it, but she'll be like, bro. I'm like,
she definitely saw this on
what?
some show.
Yeah, totally.
Like some
totally.
kid
But I'm
being
just like,
a smart aleck.
It's pretty hilarious.
It is.
So
yeah.
shout out to Zoe saying bro. A nice quick
Bro.
one. I know you got to go. She was
No,
like,
it's a good one.
bro. I'm like, what? Who the hell are you?
She was probably like, yo, Scar, bro.
Yo, bro.
Bro,
How
what
could
do
you do that?
What are you doing?
No, Mufasa was fierce. How
your
could you do
literal
that?
brother, if I
Dude,
remember
her
correctly.
yelling,
Yeah.
he was so fierce. Really the highlight of the birthday. All
Yeah.
right. Saturday, 1 to 3.
No, you.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zoe, it's her birthday party.
Yeah.
Like, how many birthdays are kids?
Me and Jody Mackman.
You and the Mac Man.
Me and the Mac
oh,
Man.
what a thrill.
Yeah.
That'll be great. That'll
What
be
a
a fun
combo.
listen. Check it out.
Yeah.
Sunday, 4-ish, whatever. As soon as the game
Post-game,
ends,
yep.
Elliot and I on the WIP YouTube channel will be there as soon as the game ends. Until then, he's Elliot J.